The compound was too quiet for a house that big. Tall gates, marble floors, walls painted in pristine cream and gold. 2 lion statues flanked the entrance like silent guards. Ada had never seen such a house except in movies. She clutched her Ghana must-go bag tightly as the driver opened the rear gate. Her heart beat fast, not from excitement, but from uncertainty. "Come down, small madam," the driver said with a tired chuckle. "You don't reach your paradise." Ada said nothing. She adjusted the wrapper around her waist and stepped out. She was barely 19, fresh from emo state, no parents, no connections. The woman who arranged this job, Madame Chinyeri, said she'd be safe. "Nay, big man house, but dem they treat people well," Madame Chinyeri had said over the phone. "Just be humble, do your work, don't ask too many questions." A tall woman in her 40s opened the front door. Skin like polished ebony, eyes cold like glass. "You must be Ada," the woman said. "Yes, Ma." "I'm Mrs. Benson. I manage the house for Chief. Come in." Inside, the house was silent. No children, no voices, just air conditioning that hummed like it was holding its breath. Chandeliers like floating crystal. Framed awards lined the hallway. Chief Emeka Benson, Philanthropist of the Year, Humanitarian Legend, Pillar of the Nation. Yet, the place felt off. Mrs. Benson led her to the servants' quarters at the back, sparse but clean. "Wake up by 5 a.m. Sharp. You clean the main parlour, mop the floors, do the laundry. Cook only when the madam or chief say so." "Yes, Ma," Ada replied. "And one more thing," Mrs. Benson added, pausing at the door. "Never enter the basement." "It's off limits." Ada frowned. "There's a basement." "Yes," Mrs. Benson said. "Forget it exists." The door clicked shut. Ada looked around the small room, a narrow window, a single fan, one wooden bed, and a silence that pressed against her ears like cotton wool. The days moved slowly, like honey in Harmattan. Ada rarely saw Chief Benson, though when she did, he smiled like a pastor. Perfect teeth, gentle tone, too smooth. "How are you settling in, my dear?" he asked one evening as she served him pepper soup. "Very well, sir. Thank you, sir." "Good. I like respectful girls." Ada dropped her eyes. His wife, the madam of the house, was cold but never rude. She left early in the morning and returned late, smelling of designer perfume and anxiety. Always on the phone, always distracted. One night, Ada met another housemaid, Mariam, who worked only upstairs and never came to the back. They bumped into each other in the laundry room. "Now you be the new girl?" Mariam asked, folding towels. "Yes, Ada." "Be careful," Mariam said, barely above a whisper. "This place, it get as it be." Ada frowned. "What do you mean?" But Mariam said no more. That night, Ada heard a sound. It came from below the floor, a dull thud, then muffled crying. She sat up in bed, heart pounding. "Is someone down there?" She remembered Mrs. Benson's warning, never enter the basement. But why? Weeks passed. Ada worked, cleaned, watched. Chief Benson often brought guests, politicians, pastors, foreign men with briefcases. Sometimes strange young girls arrived at night in black jeeps and were ushered into a side room. They never stayed till morning. One day, while cleaning the guest room, Ada found something hidden behind a broken ceiling panel, a diary bound in cracked leather. It belonged to Grace, a housemaid who once lived there. "They told me to keep quiet, but I hear them at night. I see the blood. I know what Chief is doing with those girls, and I think I might be next." The last page was dated 4 years ago. Ada's blood ran cold. She rushed to Mariam in the laundry room. "Who was Grace?" Mariam went pale. "Shh! Don't say that name here. Grace is gone. They said she ran away, but..." She looked around. "She found out too much." "About what?" "The basement," Mariam whispered. "Don't ask questions, Ada." People disappear in this house. Just do your job and leave. But Ada couldn't forget the diary. That night, she snuck into the hallway. The house was asleep. The AC hummed. The security light outside blinked like a nervous eye. Ada crept down the hallway in her wrapper, barefoot. She found the basement door behind the stairs, thick wood, painted black. The lock looked old, rusted. She pushed. It opened. A flight of stairs led down into darkness. The air smelled of old blood, bleach and fear. She lit her small torchlight. It flickered. Her hand trembled. Down the stairs she went. At the bottom, the floor was tiled, too clean, too white, walls lined with metal drawers like a morgue, a long table in the centre, strange symbols drawn on the floor in chalk, a camera on a tripod, a stained mattress on the ground. Ada covered her mouth. Oh God, oh God. In the far corner, a pile of black plastic bags. One was slightly open. She peeked in. Hair, skin, bones, a human foot. Ada stumbled backward, gagging. She hit a shelf and something fell. A flash drive labelled recordings. She grabbed it and ran. So back in her small room, Ada shoved the flash drive into her small technophone using an adapter. Files loaded. Session 17.mp4. She hit play, a grainy video. The camera pointed at the basement mattress. A young girl, maybe 16, tied up, crying. Chief Benson entered wearing only white trousers, face calm, gloves on. A man in a red cap stood beside him, chanting in Yoruba. The rest was unspeakable. Ada stopped watching. She threw up into her waste bin. Her hands shook. She had to leave. She had to expose him. But how? She confided in Mariam the next morning. I have proof. I saw it all. Grace didn't run away. She was killed. Mariam held her mouth. Jesus! I have to go to the police. Wait, Mariam said. There's someone. Mariam introduced her to Inspector Dayemi, a no-nonsense officer who had once investigated Chief Benson, but the case went cold. No evidence. Ada gave him the flash drive. He was shocked. We've suspected Chief for years, but no maid has ever spoken up. You're brave. He promised protection. That same night, another maid disappeared. The next morning, Mrs. Benson came to Ada's room with two men. Ada, you have a visitor. They weren't police. Their eyes were hard, suits too clean. They knew, someone had told. Ada was dragged to the basement, tied to the same table. Chief Benson entered, calm, smiling. Ah, my sweet Ada, you couldn't mind your business. You'll be exposed, she cried. He laughed. Do you know how many officers I feed, senators I own? Nobody will believe a housemaid. He raised a syringe. Suddenly, a bang upstairs. Then shouting, police sirens. Dayemi burst in with a sting police response team. Hands up! Emeka Benson, you're under arrest for human trafficking, ritual murder, and obstruction of justice. Gunfire erupted. One of the thugs shot at Dayemi. His partner took the bullet. Chief tried to run. Chief Benson was captured. Media swarmed his estate. Ada's testimony made headlines. Victims were identified through the flash drive. Families cried on live TV. Mrs. Benson denied everything. But bank statements and files told another story. Ada was placed in witness protection. Mariam disappeared. Dayemi buried his partner with full police honours. Chief Benson awaited trial. But 3 weeks before his court date, he was found dead in prison, poisoned. Suicide or murder? No one knew. His properties were seized. His children fled abroad. His foundation was shut down. Ada now lived in a quiet town in the east. Her hair was longer, her eyes sadder. She gave interviews but never smiled. Do you feel justice was served? A reporter asked. Ada stared into the camera. Not for the girls buried in that house, not for Grace, and not for the other housemaids still living in fear in rich men's homes. What now? We speak, we don't stop, because silence is how they win. She walked away. The screen faded. The house was gone now, demolished. But its secret still lived, in whispers, in shadows, in every housemaid's secret.